Hey internet, what's going on?
Hey internet, Chris Kim here. What's going on, guys?
Back again with another episode of Rambling Tea Time.
Today's episode is brought to you by comfy, happy feeling anime that makes you feel at peace with yourself.
Yes, we've been feeling lately not stressed out. I mean, I think everyone is stressed out all the time. But when you watch a lot of things with high energy or intensity, those kind of things can be exhausting though.
Yeah.
So we did watch recently some comfy, cutesy, fluffy, easy watches, and we are going to recommend them to you guys.
Okay. Yes.
The first one that we watched is called Flying Witch.
Yes. Flying witch. A witch moves in with her extended family to
just live and learn more, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It's very slice of life.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't think the title call Flying Witch. Yeah, she flies sometimes. Yes, there's magic, but it's pretty mundane stuff. It's very simple, extreme slice of life to the point that there's nothing grandiose that's happening in the
Right.
anime so far. But I think that's the best thing about it. It's very chill, and it pulls you in with just that very warm feeling you get when you just cover up in your covers and you're just drinking some nice hot cocoa and you're just sitting back and chilling. You
Is
just
that the feeling?
That's the vibe I get from the anime. It's just here. It's like, come, let's show you how these people live and relax. Because there's no high stakes here. It's just a girl, her extended family, and them just going and doing stuff like picking herbs for an episode.
Right, right.
You know?
It was, like you said, it was insanely slice of life.
Yes.
With the name, with witch in the name, yes, it has the magic going into it, and there's that fantasticalness, but even that isn't so pumped up, I want to say. It's not downplayed necessarily, but it's seen as normal that there
Anyway.
are witches and that there's magic kind of thing. Of course, there are people who don't know, but even when they do know, it doesn't seem odd
I
just per
guess,
se
yeah.
in the world. Yeah, yeah. I really liked the just laid back nature of it.
Yes, me too. I liked how they dropped different like bits of pieces of like lore, like the harbinger of spring, that type
Yes.
of yokai, and just like little bits of different like for
Right, right.
storytelling type
A
thing.
few times they mention the other world, so we
Yes,
know that there's another.
and there's a newspaper from the other world that
Exactly,
his sister got.
exactly. There's all kind of different creatures
Hmm.
and what have you. So that kind of stuff you see, but again, it isn't. They're seeing them for the first time, like her cousins that she
Yes,
goes around with, and it's more like we're seeing it for the first time through them as well,
yes,
but it doesn't feel like they're trying to push like that there's another world on you. They just simply tell you, and then you see the amazement of them. It's like, wow, they're like watching the fox at the restaurant that time, right? And then they all just like start patting and rubbing the fox. He's so
yes.
fluffy, right?
It's magic everywhere, but it isn't like pew 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 fireball this blah blah. It's like very just chill magic. Like
Right. So it seems that the magic in the world isn't a showy or flashy kind of thing.
yes,
And like the older sister had said that to do that kind of magic, it'll be harder. So
yes,
we see that magic has structure and some kind of stipulations really
mm-hmm,
for doing things higher level. But
yes,
even the ones at low level, they take time. It's not gonna be like purple potions and smoke hair and, storing thing around for 50 days and whatnot. I mean, I'm sure there are things like that,
Yeah.
but we saw the not so fancy of it,
Yeah.
but we still felt, I have to say, in awe of the things that came of
I
it.
like how, like, one of the few magic spells that they spend pretty much a whole episode on is the one where the sister like makes the snacks take, like she puts a spell on the
Right,
snacks, and
right.
she's like, okay, just wait for the candles to go out, and then
Right.
you'll have the
They have to
snacks
wait for like 5 or 4 inch candles to burn out all of them. And if one burns out before
before
the
the
rest
others.
do, then the spell won't work.
And all the spell actually did was one snack was anybody who eat the snack, they end up crying at everything.
Yeah.
And the other snack, the person is ends up laughing at everything.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I love that the end where they showed the dad and he had
Both,
both
and
and he
he's
was
crying and
laughing and
laughing.
crying.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
so funny.
But yeah,
Ah,
I like this. It kind of made me want to probably read the manga. The
same.
manga, I think, is still ongoing, and I did like how the sister, the older sister, who seems to be far more like she knows a lot about magic. And some people call
Right.
her a genius, and she dropped a line about how there was like a war.
She
That was at the
did.
very beginning of the show. There was like a war and witches and stuff. We just know that. What's the sister's name? The main character. What's her name again? I can't remember. But
Makoto.
Makoto.
My
Sorry.
favorite name.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But
Well, should I say my favorite Japanese name? I love the name Makoto.
oh,
Oh,
okay.
I do.
But Makoto is trying to become a full-fledged witch, but we aren't really seeing her like learn from anybody. But we're told that she's moved here to become a full-fledged witch, and we found out that this area, I can't remember the area's name, but apparently it seems like a lot of witches live there and whatnot. But we haven't seen her like learn from anybody except for her sister. And
Right.
I just like how we find out little bits and pieces, and it's only like towards the end of the series that the sister says you make a report to the
The association.
association.
That was
That's
the
the
very
first
last
time
episode.
that anything of an association was mentioned and stuff like that. But I like that. It's not the main focus,
Right.
but it's also still a goal of the main character. But it isn't like, maybe it is far more expanded, definitely far more expanded in the manga, but it feels like the overall vibe is just relax.
It is. I felt though that Makoto didn't really know a lot of
Yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
We were seeing through her and the cousins as well as they learn different things in the magic or about witches and whatnot. But I was thinking, why doesn't she know some of these things already?
Maybe she just doesn't know. That's the whole point
Hmm.
where she moved out to this area apparently where witches live. So to learn more. Or maybe it's just like practicing magic is something you gotta do on your own anyways, and she just needs to practice till she learns more.
So, from what I recall, her parents didn't want her to just leave at 15, like witches are able to
Mm,
do,
mm.
to live on their own. So that's why she moved in with her relatives to still be independent, but still, have a watchful eye on her
Yeah.
so that she's, taken care of or whatnot. So that's what she explained to the girl in the beginning. Um, but it was good. It was a good, nice, chill watch.
Yes.
Yeah, it's family friendly
Very
as
family
well.
friendly. There isn't really much else to say about Fly Witch. If you're looking for something that's just very chill, very comfy, has drops a little bit of extra storytelling, foreshadowing type stuff
Right.
that you don't really see in the entire show, feel free to watch it. It's very
Right.
funny.
It's not a heavy to consume show.
Yes.
There's not information that you need to like be relying on and trying to remember for each episode. Every situation, every episode is generally new and
Yes.
different things that she's learning. or that they're doing and seeing and whatnot. So you don't have to rely on past info. It's nothing like that. It's very light.
Very liked. But yeah, I think it was fun to watch. It's a very chill, relaxing type of thing to watch if you need something like that to just nothing that isn't going to like take a whole bunch of brain power on you, and it's very nice to look at.
The next thing that we watched was Amama to Inazuma.
This I have a decent amount of history with because I've
Right.
completely read the entire manga, and it was only when you brought it up and I actually was like, I think I know this, and then I watched the first episode. I was like, oh right, yeah, I completely read this entire manga because it was pretty short, actually.
So tell us what it's about.
It's about a dad and his daughter, and the mother had passed not too long ago, and the dad is realizing that he isn't a really good cook,
Mm-hmm.
and he already at the time wasn't a huge eater, but he wants to be able to create and cook good food for his little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing as how the mother, that was the mother's role, she was the one the big cook and everything like that, and he wants to do that to just like give her good food. That's the whole thing. But he just wants to like do good by the little girl. And the story is just like a chance meeting of a student that goes to his school because he's a teacher, and just realizing she's like, oh, come to our restaurant, and then that develops into them going by her to just like learn how to cook over time and stuff like that. And the manga goes into like a little bit more depth, and it's just about food. The majority of the manga really is just about food and the relationships of people and going on. So I liked it. Because I mean, I read the manga to completion. It's a rather short manga. I'm surprised this didn't have 2 seasons,
Mm-hmm.
because it probably would have finished. It just needed 2 seasons to finish,
Two
honestly.
seasons of 12
Yeah,
episodes
two
each.
seasons of 12 episodes is enough for a 56 chapter manga. That
I
is really
see.
majority about food, because each episode you can do at least 2 to 3 dishes of food, but they normally did like one for this anime. But yeah, I enjoy this. I like the voices that they chose for the daughter. It was great. Samugi, it was great.
I also enjoyed this one. It was fluffy and nice, but it did have more heavy themes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say more, not necessarily adult themes, but
Yeah,
in terms of emotional nature of it,
yeah.
it was more heavy and not maybe so much kids would not get that. But on the food side, it
Uh-huh.
was definitely for anybody to watch.
Yes.
And there were different recipes that they did that were really interesting, but there's something that we found that we didn't know about.
What?
It was the strong flour and the weak flour.
We talked about this, yeah.
When I saw it, it was like, what the heck is strong flour? I was like, that is not real. And Christopher looked it up. And
Yes,
then we found
yeah,
out that it's similar to bread flour.
yeah.
But I have never
Heard it
heard
called
of
strong flour.
strong flour.
Me neither. I never
So
heard
that
it called
was,
strong flour.
neither have I. So that was really a new discovery of something that we should definitely try out.
But other than the strong flour, I liked a lot of how they focus on the recipes, and it's all. I really like the whole idea of food kind of is like the thing to like that brings people together,
Mm-hmm.
because that's kind of the whole show. It's the suffering with loss a few months ago, wanted to like be able to do good food for your daughter, that type of thing, and that whole just kind of branch out. Like his friend Yagi shows up. The girl that he goes to, Kotori's her friend shows up, and it's like this whole like vibe of like your family, a group of friends farming around food type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that. It's really fun type of show in my opinion. The show isn't super complicated. It gets. I'm surprised they didn't do a little bit more, but because I've read the manga to completion, and I really feel they could have probably given this a 24 episodes and complete the entire manga. But overall, I enjoy this. A lot of good recipes if you want to. They're pretty like clear cut. You can make them yourself at home.
I agree.
They all look very delicious. Especially the okonomiyaki.
Okonomiyaki.
Okonom no
Okonomiyaki.
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 Okonomiyaki. Look. Oh
Okonomiyaki.
my god. Okonomiyaki.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks delicious. I would like to try making it that thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably with like
Um,
bacon inside of it or something like that. Probably tastes pretty good.
that's not what I want to try. I want the thing from the beginning. What is it? Konyaku. Oh, konyaku.
What's konyaku again? What was
It's
konyaku?
that jelly.
Oh yeah, that you say you could put in like food and stuff. It's kind of like what is it? Is it like a thickener for food and
No,
stuff or like
no,
that?
no, no, no. No, it doesn't do anything. It is a thing by itself.
Oh,
I don't know if that makes sense, but it's not. It's like it's like this is a bad example, but I'm not talking about in terms of consistency or anything.
mm.
I'm just talking about as an ingredient, it would be like a potato,
Oh, okay,
right?
understood.
It doesn't it's not like a paste that you put in to add
Yeah, because
flavor.
it looks kind of because it's the way how they tear it apart. It looks very like jelly-ish, but I didn't realize it. Just I thought it was like blending in. I didn't realize
No,
like
no,
a.
no. It doesn't
Oh, okay.
blend in. It when you take it out separately and you can eat it as its
It's just
own
something there to
thing.
like suck up the flavor of whatever is inside.
Right,
Oh,
right.
okay, like a potato. I
Of
gotcha.
course, there are ones that they do specially, and you can put them in shapes, if you
Mm.
want. After you, maybe when you're making it, they're not all in that kind of like block rounded shape.
So it's kind of like a dumpling type of thing going on as well.
What do you mean by it's like a
I mean, it's
dumpling?
just like a thing that's just like floating
Thrown into
inside.
a
Yeah,
soup,
yeah.
kind of. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It doesn't add flavor. It more sucks up and
Okay,
takes on a flavor. Of course, it has its own, but it sucks up the flavor of the surrounding other.
okay, understood.
But again, it isn't always eaten like that, though.
Okay, I think I get it. It's a multi-purpose thing.
It can be eaten alone, is what I mean to say. It doesn't
Okay.
have to be in a soup where it soaks up any kind of flavor or anything like that. Anyway, I'm talking a lot about it for somebody who has never tried it. So,
One thing that I want to make as well is the gyoza.
yeah. I I don't really feel comfortable with doing things with doughs.
Mm. The dough
So,
shouldn't be the hard part, actually. It's probably the more the meat that be more
no, no.
confusing.
I feel that's the easy part for me.
Oh,
That'll be the easy
yeah,
part for me.
that'll
I
do the
mean,
dough.
let's have a collaboration, honestly, because I cannot do, I just know that it can be a mess or it can take real long. I mean, like several hours to do the
Oh,
dough. And I
eh,
don't want to do that.
I should. I don't know. Take that long. Maybe no. I can all do the dough and you do the meat.
Here's the thing about the dough. You have to get it right? Because gyoza dough, it's not, it's thin. You
Mm-hmm.
get it thin, but it doesn't
Fall
fall
apart.
apart when you cook it.
Yeah,
You understand? It's like still strong, even though you put in the meat or whatever the insides are, and then you cook it. It does not burst open. They're not supposed to burst open?
I know. I can do that. I'm an expert when it comes to manipulating flour. And maybe I'll get some of that strong flour.
I think it was wheat flour that they used for the gyoza, though, wasn't it?
I can't remember. I think that they know to use the wheat flour for the crepes.
Right. Wait, you know what? I don't remember. We need to research the weak and the strong flour so that we can use them.
I'm pretty sure we use weekend strong flour. It's just that that's not what it's called here because apparently because strong flour is akin to like bread flour.
Exactly. I know about bread flour, but we don't use bread flour to make bread.
Well, not all the time, but yeah, I
Not
know
at
what you
all.
mean. I know what you mean because all-purpose kind of does the job for most things, but I do like self-rising for other things as well.
There's other specific flours as
Yes,
well.
there is.
We should just have a whole episode about flours.
Flowers. Sure, flower, strong, weak, and I don't know, whatever else we want to add in that.
Exactly. There's oat flour,
I like that.
there's rice flour,
Never.
there's, I think there's, it's not cassava flour, but it's more like meal.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness, there are a lot of things in the world, aren't there?
Yes, that's very true. Yes.
Is that just sounding like a general statement?
Yes.
It didn't mean to, but it is true.
It is very true.
Anyhow, I enjoyed both of these anime. I think that they're easy watches
Yes.
for anyone. For Flying Witch, you don't even have to watch in order, to be honest.
It felt like that for some of it, but it's still kind of
It still did follow,
like characters are introduced and then
right,
mentioned later on and
but
stuff like that.
you don't necessarily have to do that. Just saying.
It still be a bit confusing though.
For Amama to Inazuma, you should definitely watch in order.
It's a very good little show. I also recommend reading the manga. It's a very short read. It's only 56 chapters long if you can find it. It's not it's very cute. It's very nice and I like the ending. So, yeah.
How did it end?
I kind of really don't want to spoil it considered it's
Oh.
so short. I'll tell you after the episode. Seeing as how there's probably not going to be a season 2, which is kind of sad, but that's okay. But yeah, it ends. It ends cutely. Like certain developments happen and with other characters and whatnot. But yeah, it's good. It's a good
Hmm.
ending.
I'm reminded after I watched Amama to Inazuma, I remembered Usagi Drop. Do you remember?
I Usagi drop. What was that about?
So Usagi Drop was where the guy, he basically not adopted, he didn't adopt because they talked about that. He took to live with him his aunt. Be it
What?
sounds funny, right? His aunt is a little girl. I think
Oh,
she
right,
was
right, right,
7
right,
years old,
right,
and
right.
she
I
was
remember though.
his granddad's
Daughter,
daughter.
granddad was still getting it wrong at that time. Damn.
So that's what ended up happening. The
Mm-hmm.
dad, the granddad, he had her late,
Late,
really,
very
really,
late,
really late.
and I guess he
Um,
passed.
yeah, he passed
Mm.
away. So when the rest of the family first found out about her was at the funeral, and no
Oh.
one knew what to do with her. So he took her in and he
Mm-hmm.
started to raise her. And of
Ah.
course, they had all kinds of different things, and but it was so nice. I just
Mm.
loved it. It's definitely one of the like family life anime. It comes from a manga, so it's definitely from that genre that was just really beautiful to see, like
I,
the
f- I
family.
find I like that type of stuff a
Me
lot.
too. I'm all about the family.
I'm all about I've like moms and dads taking care of their kids and stuff like that. I always enjoy that type of stuff.
Yeah, me too.
So and okay, I'll give that a read when I get a chance. Usagi Drop. Hmm. Sounds like it would be very fun to give
It
it a read.
is, it is. I really like that. After a while, his parents, like when they go back to visit,
Mm-hmm.
his parents, they like start treating her nicer, because she's only a little girl in the world. She's
Yeah.
not asked to be born,
Uh huh.
The thing is with her mother is still alive, and her mother's like a young lady. You understand?
I
So
see.
she used to be the housekeeper for the dad there, and
Ah,
they fell in love a moment. But
Soka.
then when she found out she was pregnant, she was like, I can't do this, and she kind of like abandoned her basically. So
Mm.
the girl didn't really know her as her mother.
I gotcha.
She knew her as the housekeeper.
Oh.
Yeah. That part is really sad, and she's not, even though the guy tries to get in contact with her and let her know about the girl and everything,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those examples of she had the kid,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously
She didn't want them.
yeah, she's not prepared at the time that she had the kid, but she had the kid, you know?
Yeah.
So, and she's living her life, but she's still, it's not like she doesn't love her, but she is trying, I want to say that it seems to me that she's trying her best in her own way, you know, in work and everything and in life so that she can maybe see her daughter again, but not in a bad. She doesn't want her to see her in a bad way. I don't know how to explain it.
Mm.
Parents, people are complicated. Okay, there's that part of it is complicated, but the other parts are really nice. There's this other parent, this lady that the guy gets to know from like the
Mhm.
kindergarten, and her son and the girl, they go to school together and
Mhm.
they just enjoy themselves, and it's so nice. And you know, there's a thing, you know, no one is saying there's a thing, but there might be a thing between the two of the adults. It's cute though. There's nothing goes into detail, you know.
Yes.
But I like it. I like it. It's so sweet. Usagi Drop is really nice.
Okay.
That's another one that I think we could recommend.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, it's nice, family, comfy. Again, it may be a little heavy on the emotional side,
I got
but
you.
it's still the rest of the way. You know, is relatively calm
Okay.
and all about, you know, her, you know, kids getting into school,
Mhm.
you know, cooking, like, you know, the mama telling us about cooking for them, you know, things being healthy, um, that kind of stuff.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna give this a read.
You're
And
going to
cute.
read it, not watch it?
I mean, if the anime isn't complete on the series, but the series is
Oh
complete
no,
in the
this came out a
manga,
long time ago.
I'll check both and see which one is more complete. And
It's the manga. Anyhow, those are our recommends for this week of comfy, calm, family oriented watches.
yes, very cute, very nice, very chill. I hope you guys enjoyed our suggestions today, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Good night, everyone.